Yes, no. Do you know what? These never get easier to start. The first, as the countdown goes, three, two, one, and then it starts. Like, I feel like I get into it, and it is sound once you start chatting and that. But it's the first. It's just what to say at the start. Maybe I need a little jingle or something that leads me in, and then I just can start talking. Like I don't, because I've still not, I haven't learnt a single thing. Keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna learn," and I will. Obviously, I've only been doing it 5 days or something. I think this is the fifth day since I've released the first video. I still haven't learned. Still haven't got any software to do thumbnails. I just make them on Photoshop, and they're so bad. Still don't know how to edit. I haven't done. Still using. I was gonna. You can't turn the thing around. I suppose I could show you in the mirror, but no one's that arsed to see it. I'm still using photo booth. I'm just using photo booth to record these, and I've noticed on some TVs they don't, because of how shit photo booth is, they don't go full screen on the TV. So fuck it, they'll get better. I'm not making any money or anything at the moment. I'm just doing it because it's fuck it. I'm actually enjoying it. Not these. I'm not enjoying these so much. Like I don't mind them. The Sunday morning one was good because it was nice to record it just with a coffee, just chilling. These ones sometimes they feel a little bit forced and that, like not natural. But the live chat, I fucking loved that live chat, and everyone else loved it as well. Like everyone, I've had so many nice messages about the live chat, and the chat at the time was good. It was nice. People were dropping in. There was some people that I think stayed there for the full time. People were asking questions, answering them. I had the ones from the emails. I've got a fucking lot of emails this time, so I'm probably gonna have to cut them down. I only missed one question that was asked last week because it was asking about what I thought of someone on Twitter, and I couldn't, probably because I was a bit stoned. I couldn't be asked with a beef. So I'll answer that on Sunday, and just tell them they're a muppet, and then it can get clipped off, and everyone can fall out and then the guy, we can have a little argument or something. But yeah, that's the only one question I missed because I was like in a dead happy mood and didn't want beef. Yeah, this video is 2 minutes. I haven't even told you what the video is. This is going to be the season roundup, like what I think, my predictions for the season, winners and all that. And then in a year, because I said I'll do this for 12 months and see where I am in a year. And if it's like, imagine I was still on like this many subscribers, like it just plateaued now, then I'd fuck it off. Obviously, I wouldn't I wouldn't keep doing it if it was dead. But yeah, I've made notes for this one. Not notes, I've just put the questions down and my answers, but then I'll expand on the answers. Just because I haven't made notes for anything. Even like the UFC and boxing one, I didn't even know there was cards that I would have spoke about. There was Ricky Burns fought Willie Limond, and I didn't even know, and I would have talked about it and definitely would have like chose who I thought were going to win. I didn't have a clue. But so I have made little notes, but it's just the question, my answer, and that's it. And then the rest is just like, I'll just think of it because I know it. I know what I'm going to say, kind of. I've not rehearsed it, but I know what I think about why. It's obviously what's in my head, so I know. I don't even know how to describe this, but I know what I'm thinking about why City are going to win the league, if that makes sense. So these are what have been suggested by the person who asked me to do it. It's just some random guy on Twitter, but then don't know why I didn't think of it, but yeah. So I've done two now where I've been suggested, and I think yeah, that's a good idea. This one and the Liverpool transfer one. The Liverpool transfer one was all right. Not massive. Like I said, I'm not massive into talking about Liverpool, but I suppose to be fair, that's done the worst views wise. So maybe it's not as big business as I thought. But yeah, this will be good to see in a year because this can be the year point. We'll see how. I suppose it's not a full 12 months. Is actually it's when the season finishes, so that's a lot of bollocks. Well, it'd be good to see anyway. I know miles off it am. So first one anyway, win the league. So I've gone for City, just because it's City. Like, how do you pick against them? They've got probably the best. Well, they have definitely got the best squad in the league. Second best manager in the league. But I'd say the squad is good enough that it bridges the gap between obviously Pep and Klopp. I think you're all going to say I'm biased, but I think you're mad if you think Pep's a better manager than Klopp. Just look at what Klopp's done with the resources he's had. Pep has spent literally billions everywhere he's been, so I'm not even listening to it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not asked what any of you say. Klopp is a better manager than Pep. The only thing that makes me think that City might not win the league is the 4 times thing. No one's ever won it 4 in a row. I've done I feel like this is not the league where someone dominates 4 years in a row. But who else can you see winning it? I can't see Arsenal being anywhere near it. Like they'll be a million miles away. I think Liverpool. I think we've left ourselves short in terms of not getting a proper six, not getting defensive cover. Who's texting me? Oh. Not getting proper defensive cover. United, shit, bad side. not a good side at all. They'll be a million miles off. I don't think they'll finish top four. Newcastle won't finish. Obviously, they're not. Newcastle are not seriously considered for the league. They won't even finish top four either. Chelsea, I think Chelsea have said that. I think Chelsea will be all right. They've got a good squad, decent manager, but I think they'll start badly and won't be able to catch up to have a title challenge. But I think stupid stats where it goes, if the league started on November 3rd, such and such a body would be top of the league. Well, the fucking league doesn't start on November 3rd, but you know what I mean? I think if, say the league started in January, I think Chelsea would have a title charge, but because they'll start so badly, they've just lost to Forest. Pisses me off that we dropped points to them, but yeah, they lost to Forest, dropped points to us. They lost to West Ham, didn't they? Yeah, so I think Chelsea will be okay for top four, but they're not going to win the league. Who else have you got? Tottenham. I think Tottenham will surprise a lot of teams, but again, they're obviously not serious for the league, are they? So that's it, innit? That's the sort of like, what is that, top six? Yeah, Tottenham, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Liverpool, City. Yeah, I even said Newcastle, and Newcastle got a fuck all chance. So that's my my league. Top four: City. Maybe not. Yeah, I'd say in order: City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, or Tottenham. But I know that's a bit of a cop out. How can you say who's going to finish top four and pick fucking five of the best teams in the league? I'll go with Arsenal. I think Arsenal will pip Tottenham to fourth place. Do I? Yeah. I think Arsenal will just do it. I feel like Tottenham obviously letting Kane goes. Weirdly, a massive thing, and he'll smash it at Bayern. But I think sometimes when you're a club where you're such a one man club, whatever, one man club. Yeah, one man club. That sounds right. When they leave, I don't know if you've invested the money right. Other players like flourish instead. I don't know what I mean. I don't know. I don't think Tottenham are going to be that much worse off for losing Kane, even though they've lost one of the best strikers in the world, and he will smash it at Bayern. But I just feel like they're not going to be that bad. I think United are going to finish behind Tottenham. I think United will finish sixth. I think United are going to have a really bad season. I don't think they bought well. I think the signings that they bought last year that were good last year, like Casemiro and that, legs have fell off. And if he's not a good defensive midfielder for them, you're going to see how bad their defence is, because it is a bad defence. And that striker, I don't think he's going to be all that either. I know they spent big money on him, and I'd be absolutely lying if I said I've ever seen him play before in my life. But yeah, can't see much from him either. They would have loved to be able to play Mason Greenwood, wouldn't they? But obviously they can't because of, well, whatever. He's a fucking rapist, so they're not going to play a rapist. Relegated: Sheffield United, Luton, and Wolves. In that order. Probably in that order, yeah. Yeah, probably in that order, but they're definitely them three. I wanted to go with Burnley, but they say that's the three that come up. Have they ever gone down? All three of them. And I feel like Burnley will probably play good enough football and maybe make Turf more like a good enough place where they pick up points there. I'm not massive on Vincent Kompany, but I suppose I don't know. I feel like he struggled in Belgium and then just went to Burnley and won the championship. But every year, a team that's... Why do people keep texting me? Every year, a team that's doesn't end up being that good walk the championship, and it's just... Norwich have been doing it for fucking years and they always go down. So it was just his turn. So, yeah, I think Burnley they'll be the team that just stay above the drop zone, but I think it'll be Sheffield United, Luton and Wolves. Sheffield United don't massively seem interested in like fighting to stay up. What they spent like 30 million net. Seem to have let a lot of players go. Ollie Burt, who did they play? Everton. I watched the Everton game this weekend, and the commentators were saying Ollie McBurney and someone they bought from Villa are going to be like catalysts for them staying up, mate. If you're relying on Ollie McBurney, is that his name, isn't it? Ollie McBurney. If you're relying on Ollie McBurney to fucking out, Ollie McBurney, why does that not sound right? It is Ollie McBurney, innit? If you're relying on him anyway for anything in the Premier League, you're in trouble. So don't see enough goals in that team. They'll go down. Luton, I don't think are even asked about staying up. I feel like instead of gambling on staying up and maybe crippling themselves financially or spending outside of the means, I think they're just, what have they? I did look at how much they'd spent for this. I think they've spent like 17 million or even maybe less, 10 million. I can't remember. Not a lot, not enough to stay up. I think they're not asked. I think they've come up. They've got the big, massive Premier League first season payment, and they're going to get the parachute payments when they go down, and they'll probably improve the ground and 10-minute mark because the screen's just gone fucking dark. I still don't even know how to turn it off. Anyone who got a Mac can tell me how to stop my fucking screen going dark after 10 minutes because the charger's plugged in and everything, so I don't fucking get it. And then Wolves, don't know what's gone on with Wolves when they've got the same owner they've always had. That's Bobby, by the way, just circling around this. Can I call it a studio? I don't know if you could hear him. He wants to play fetch. Yeah, Wolves. No, I'm like they've not shown any ambition, have they? They lost a good manager because of the lack of ambition. What's going on with them? Remember when they first got took over and they were buying? They wasted a lot of money on bad players. Like, think of that. I did a tweet where I said I think he'll have a good season, but I think that's probably just one of them where I just say it and hope for the best. The Portuguese, the young lad they spent like 30 million on. They loaned him out last season. I've honestly forgot his name. This is not like me doing a bit like where I forget people's names. I forgot his name. Fabio Silva. Like, imagine how much they wish they could have that 30 million back to spend it on someone else this summer. They wasted money, and then the whole thing was George Mendes, wasn't it? Because he's not the one. Yeah, because it's Raiola who's the other weird one. Yeah, George Mendes. What was all that about? Where they were just buying all of his clients and stuff and spending big money? Like, I'm not sure what's going on. And then obviously they've just lost a really good manager and replaced him with Gary O'Neill, bad manager. People say he was unlucky. Like, how unlucky was he to get sacked from Bournemouth? He fucking was not unlucky to get sacked by Bournemouth. And Bournemouth fans weren't even asked that he got sacked. If you read in the comments when he got sacked, Bournemouth fans was telling other people who were saying like, I can't believe you've sacked him. This is a fucking disgrace. They were saying, have you watched us this season? They were dog shit. Bournemouth were dog shit under Gary O'Neill all season, and then they went on a little run at the end of the season, which all it takes in this league. You can go on a little run, 7 or 8 games where you get decent results, and you can finish 9 places above where you were. That's how bad this league can be at times. And that's all they did. They went on a decent run at the end of the season and stayed up. He's a bad manager. Wolves are a bad side. They've shown no ambition, and I think they'll go down. Yeah, and that's my 3 teams to go down. What's the next one? Top goal scorer, Haaland. He'll get top goal scorer every single season until he fucks off to like Madrid or, I don't know, someone like PSG will pay him like fucking 2 million a week. He's probably already on $1 million a week at City, but yeah, he'll just get it every year now until he fucks off. Manager of the year, another one. I think it'll just go to Pep by default. I think we're in for a season where it's a bit nothing really much happens. Like, City will win the league. Don't really know who'll challenge. The top 4's not going to have any surprise people in it. If Wolves, Luton and Sheffield United, or Wolves, Burnley, Sheffield United, or Wolves, or the 3 teams that came up all went down, would anybody be surprised? Like, not really. So I'm not. I don't think we're in for a surprising season. So I think just by default, Pep will win the league. It'll be the only thing that goes on. He'll probably win one of the domestic cups like he always does, and he'll just get manager of the year just because of that. Signing the season, Slobo. So it's Soberslai. Listen, hang on. So just say I don't do research. This is my Hungarian mate Peter who I met at Zegets. I asked him how to pronounce it, and this is what he said. No. Oh, hang on.
It's Soberslai.
Soberslai, yeah, that. Soberslai. He was laughing at my pronunciation at the start. One more time.
No. It's Soberslai.
Soberslai. I was saying Slobberslai, so it's Soberslai. Him, anyway, he's going to be the signing of the summer. It's mad that he's played against us twice, hasn't he, in the Champions League in the COVID season, which meant I have to have watched it on TV, so I couldn't have been a mess and forgot about it. Didn't know he existed till the day we signed him, didn't have a fucking clue who he was. Obviously, well, maybe not the day I signed him, the day we were linked with him, then we activated. But I've never heard of him, ever. And I've seen enough of him already to know he is going to be a superstar. He's going to be unbelievable. He is going to score a lot of goals. He's going to get a lot of assists. He's going to run the most miles, most players every game. He's just a superstar already. He'll be signing the season by a mile. Whoever we finish in the league will be massively down to him. Wherever we get in any cup competitions will be massively down to him. He is going to be a signing the season. And what annoys me, well, it doesn't annoy me, but we got him in early enough, but we triggered his release clause, which meant we could have got him on the first day of the transfer window. But what I think happened is Klopp, or whoever does the signings at Liverpool, this new guy, has looked around and realised 60 million euros for him is not expensive, even though it's expensive for what we usually spend on players, because maybe that's do we spend? I don't know what. People are going to go, oh my god, you spend loads of money on players. We don't spend loads of money on players because we fucking recoup money and we just don't spend loads of money on players. But anyway, 60 million euros for him. I think they looked around and thought by the end of the window, 60 million euros for him is not going to be expensive because it isn't, is it? Look at the price people were going. Cole Palmer, what was it? 45 million for Cole Palmer. If you're paying 45 million pounds for Cole Palmer, 60 million euros for Soboslai is good business, and so he'll be the signing of the summer without doubt. See, I've got notes, but I know the next one because I know signing of the summer. So flop signing of the summer. There was a couple in my head, but I'm going to go for Caicedo, and not because I don't think he's a good player, because I do think he's a good player. I just think the fee, it's a big fee, you know. What did they end up paying him? 115 million for him. It's a lot of money, and I don't trust Brighton players the same way I don't trust black goalkeepers. Like I said before, and I think it was in the. Have I said it out loud or was it in the video? I think it was in the video about the transfers. What Brighton players kicked on when they've left? Seriously, now, what Brighton players kicked on when they left? What was that? Everton have just loaned out the player. They paid 40 million or 30 million from Brighton for. What is it? Morpay for fucking. They've loaned him out because he's that shit. Loads of players have left Brighton and they've just not kicked on at all. Like it just seems to be a thing. And you pay 36-7 million for McAllister, and I think he's a good tidy player after seeing him. But if he doesn't kick on massively, then he doesn't kick on massively. But fucking. 115 or 110 million for Caicedo. I just think it's impossible for him to live up to these expectations. Like, it's a lot of money. I think he's a good player, but I think he's a system player. And I also think, and this is me just saying random words into a microphone, I'm basing this on nothing. But he doesn't strike me as a player like Declan Rice. I don't think the price tag's going to get to Declan Rice at all, even though I don't think Declan Rice is as good a player as Caicedo. I feel like Declan Rice is the sort of player where he's not asked that he costs 105 million, whatever he cost. Whereas I think the pressure could get to Caicedo, and I just don't think he's going to hit the heights. Yeah. I think by the end of the season, Lavio. Oh, this wasn't me. I've not wrote that down. I'm checking what was next. I think by the end of the season, Lavio will be starting ahead of him. I don't think he'll. I think he's going to be a bad flop. First manager sacked. So, first manager sacked. This is the second to last question. I like these to stay 20 minutes, the short ones. First manager sacked. I would have said Eddie Howe, because I think he will go by the end of the season. But I think Newcastle fans like him enough to where they wouldn't accept him being sacked early, and I think he'll at least be allowed 3 or 4 Premier League games, Champions League group games before they sacked him. And he's not really going to be expected to win, is he, in the Champions League group he's got? So I suppose if he lost the first 2, the fans would still demand that he got a bit more time. So I would have said Eddie Howe, but I'm not going to go with him. I want to say Gary O'Neill, but I feel like Wolves are like lacking that much ambition that if they're bottom 2 at Christmas, they won't sack Gary O'Neill. I don't know. Someone will go by Christmas as well. Someone always does go by Christmas. So I'm going to go. See, I knew the other one straight away off the top of my head. First manager to be sacked. I'd see like Dyche at Everton. It wouldn't take them being that, because he's a red and that. It wouldn't take them being that bad for the fans to turn on him. And obviously Mashiri's a bit trigger happy, isn't he? So I feel like it wouldn't take much for Dyche to get sacked. But I actually think Everton will be all right under him. I think they'll be horrible to watch. But I think by Christmas they'll be 12th, 13th. Not anywhere near relegation, and after the 2 years Everton have had, like, the fans will be. I think if you offered an Everton fan now to finish 12th, they'd fucking bite your hand off for it. And I think they'll be all right. I don't think he'll get sacked. So first man, Marco Silva. Let's go Marco Silva at Fulham. They're not had a great start, have they? Have they had a great start? They sold Mitrovic, but they haven't sold that guy to Bayern Munich, have they? Paulino. I'm just going to go Marco Silva because honestly I don't really know. I would have gone Eddie Howe, but I think he's got enough grace with the Newcastle fans that he'll be all right. And Dyche is the one where you think he could go if he had a bad run of results, but I think he'll be all right. I think they'll pick up a few wins at home, especially decent points on the road because of how he'll set up. That fucking striker they've signed, Rapid, and he's 6'4". They're going to be horrible, you know. Everton are going to be a horrible side to play against. So yeah, I'm going to go Marco Silva just because I can't really think of anything else. And the last one is surprise team of the season. So I'm going to go Wolves. Sorry, fucking hell, I just said they're going to get relegated. Idiot. I'm going to go West Ham. because, first of all, I can't believe they kept Moyes. Obviously, he won on the trophy, so then I can believe they kept Moyes. But last season, I thought he was going to go. And I think if he hadn't won the trophy, he would have gone. And he's got a year left on his contract, so the owners are probably thinking, we're definitely not going to get relegated. Worst comes to the worst, he sees out the year, and then we get rid of him. I think they've spent the Declan Rice money quite well. Not like amazing, because I don't really know the players that they've signed, but I think they've spent the money quite well. Sorry, I'm fucking burping into the mic then. And I think they'll just do okay. I think they're running on the wave of the cup. They've got a decent squad. I think they always had a better squad than what they showed last season. I think they struggled last season in the league, and I don't really know why, because they have a good squad. Obviously, they've lost Rice, but I feel like a team like West Ham don't need Rice as much as like he'll be good for Arsenal, because I think a team at that level, you can replace him with someone who's not as good as him for half the price, and it doesn't have half the output, if that makes sense. For smaller teams, if Arsenal sold Rice in 2 years and somehow got the money back and then spent it on a £50 million midfielder, they would notice the pinch of a half a price player more than I think a West Ham will. And I just think they'll do all right. I think they've had a good start to the season. I think I think it'll be them and Villa who are like, what does the Conference League go up to? Is it 7th? Yeah, so then there is a top 7 now, isn't there, with Newcastle, I guess. I think it'll be, because like United and I think Newcastle struggle in the league like more than they did last season. Do you know, you always have a team that's unexpected to pip one of the big teams to the European places. I don't know if it goes to 8. It will be Villa and West Ham, who are the two outside the big teams fighting for whatever European place it is. I'm not quite sure, because I keep seeing people saying that the top 5 qualify for the Champions League this season. Is that true? Because if it is, I've just done a fucking segment on this where it's top 4. Is it top 5? If it's top 5, then I was right. Arsenal and Tottenham had them both in. But is it top 5? Because I've not really had that confirmed. I've just seen it on Twitter. But yeah, surprise team, West Ham. And that's it. That's all my questions. That's all my categories I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably should have done 10. What's another category I can just do off the top of my head? It's been 22 minutes. That's enough. 9's fine. Right, that's it. Yeah, end of the video. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna do my MMA and boxing one on Thursday. Probably come out Friday morning. Maybe even just come out Thursday night, so it's out by Friday morning. My betting one definitely this week. I'm gonna do Saturday morning early and get it out. So I'll do it like really early Saturday morning and get it out. Get it out Saturday morning early, so that people can copy my bets if they're asked. I might do one of these, but for boxing and MMA, like who will be a world champion at the end of the year. I don't know. Best fighter of the year. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll do my MMA and boxing one though Thursday. What other things am I going to do? The live chat's moved from Friday to Sunday. I've got some sick questions already in the email, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, the live chat's going to be moving till Sunday. Fucking loved it last time. I don't know if I'm going to do it stoned every time, because I felt like it was more loose stoned. But I also feel like when I'm stoned, I'm just dead happy, and I don't. Not that I want to be controversial for the sake of controversial, but like I feel like I'm not aggy. I don't want to be aggy either. I don't know. You just lose your edge when you're stoned. So potentially not stoned. We'll see. See what happens on Sunday. But yeah, that's going to move till Sunday. What else am I doing this week? Oh, and then I'm going to do overall. I was going to do just a Liverpool one, but nah. I'm going to do an overall football one that will come out on Wednesday, but I don't know if I'm going to record it tomorrow. I was going to record it tonight, but this is 9:30 now and I'm knackered, so I'm going to go to bed. So I'll record that tomorrow and it'll come out tomorrow or Wednesday, who knows. But that's going to be an overall football one about the weekend, and that'll be doing this weekend's results and talking about next weekend's fixtures. And then the boxing one will obviously be talking about the Liam Smith Eubank card, all the card, UFC Paris, all the card, and then it will have a look to the fact that I haven't even looked. So UFC this week, UFC 293, which is going to be one of the worst numbered cards UFC have put on in years. But I'll talk about probably the top 3 fights on that, or whatever fights I like. What boxing's on this weekend? Shall I check right now? Or is anybody who's watching a football thing asked about the boxing this week? Do you know what? I'm not asked. I'll find out what boxing's on and that'll be on that. So yeah, I'm done now. 25 minutes. Only wanted to do 20. I wonder if I'll ever end one of these videos on time. But yeah. Like and subscribe. I'm going to go to bed because I'm fucking knackered. Bye.